Going to check out some cool memorabilia tonight. Since we are live, we're going to give everybody a few seconds to get their notifications, jump on with us, get ready to check out some more cool memorabilia tonight. Tonight, we're going to look at some auction finds that I picked up last week. And as well, I've been sorting through some cans. And we're going to show you some cans that we'll probably be selling off out of our collection that are duplicates, things like that. So anyway, we'll give everybody a few more seconds, get their notifications, and we'll get ready to get rolling here in just a few more seconds. David W. is on with us. Glad you made it tonight. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll check out some of our auction finds. We'll start off with a box of smalls. We'll get into a few signs and a thermometer. Thomas from Chicago's on. Glad you're here tonight. Well, let's go ahead and flip the phone around. Let's start checking out some of this cool memorabilia that we just picked up last week. Jim is here. Glad you made it tonight. We'll start off with this little box of smalls. Some cool pieces in here. A lot of gas and oil stuff. Skelly Moto Memo. Joe's on. Glad you're here. Just a little, service pledge on it. Basically just a way to keep your vehicle information straight. James from Virginia is on. Never been used. All kinds of information in here. We do have a calendar in the back to help date this thing. Old school made it. Lee's here. Bill's here. Glad you made it. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Bill says hit the like button. You're always there for me. You always got my back. I appreciate that. 1946, 1947. Old School got a Super Test can today, so be sure to check out Old School Super Test can he just picked up on his channel. So the Skelly Moto Memo from the 1946, 1947 window. Pretty neat piece. Obviously, we can tell by the car and the pumps on it that it does have some age to it. How about an Apko Auto Performance Notebook? Kind of basically the same thing. Just vehicle maintenance records. Let Apko make your trip a pleasure. This is from Missouri. Walt's Apko in Blue Springs, Missouri is where this was originally handed out. Once again, one that hasn't been used or filled out. Kind of the same thing with this Vickers. Another kind of cool one. Vickers Automobile and Travel Expense Record Book. Drive safely, courtesy of your friendly Vickers independent dealer. Once again, all kinds of just record keeping for your vehicle and travel expenses. This is for the late 60s, 1966, 1967 is where we can date this one to based on the calendar in the back of the Vickers travel expense. Number one's here. Chevy Truck TV's on with us. How about an SO notepad? Garlock's SO station, McConnellsburg, PA, Stevens SO, East Lewiston, PA, Bollinger's SO, West Lewiston, PA. This one is just a notebook. That's all it is. Just a plain, basic, empty notebook handed out by your SO service station. And a few of the many points of interest to stop and check out in their area. These next couple little books that we're going to check out, these are super cool. These are little tiny things. You can see by just sits in the palm of my hand. From Wilkinson's Texaco Station in Petersburg, Virginia. Once again, just little automotive records. Little notebooks just to keep records with. Who bought out Texaco? I don't remember. I know there was... I don't remember how all that went down when those mergers and things were happening. So, Dan made it. Glad you're here. This one is dated 1951 on the Texaco. Once again, never been filled out. So, pretty neat piece. We've got a few things in here. Let's check out what we've got written on the inside of here. I don't know if we can get it to cooperate. Somebody started to use this one. Let's see what it says. Travel log from 1961 is when this is dated. So this one sat around for a few years, did get used a little bit, but it was minimal. Most of it's still unwritten in. Old School, I wish Red Indian and White Rose were still around. Oils them too. Yeah, those were all great companies, and they all had a lot of cool stuff. Next one, kind of the same type of thing, actually the exact same book almost, only this one is a standard, and it is local for me. Wolf's Standard Service, Galen Wolf, dial 9917, 10th and Main, Great Bend. Bill, the SO notebook is is right around his area. So that's pretty cool. So that one, Bill is on with us right now. He said that is right in his neck of the woods where he's from. So the standard one, like I said, local to me. So it's always cool when you find local pieces. The date inside of this one, or the calendar, is 1953. So a couple years after the Texaco, although essentially the exact same thing with a different color and a different brand on it. And still the same type of thing. It's just a notebook for record keeping for your vehicle. The inside back calendar is 1954, so there again coincides with the 53-54 era for the standard notebook. This is kind of a cool piece. I don't know what this is for. It's a Marvel Mystery Oil deal. Some sort of a pump or something for a Marvel Mystery Oiler. Don't really know much about it. It was in the box. Haven't had time to look it up or do much studying on it, but this rifle is guaranteed only when used with Marvel Mystery Oil. So, not sure what that thing was actually for, but it was in the box. Said Marvel Mystery Oil on it. Thought it was kind of cool. Last booklet we're going to check out here, a Texaco cruising chart. Old school. I'm surprised Walmart doesn't have a gas station chain. Well, they got gas stations at a lot of Walmarts. We don't have one at ours, but I know a lot of Walmarts do have gas stations at them. Texaco cruising chart, 1957 edition, Great Lakes and adjoining waterways. The Texas company, Texaco Waterways Service. So I thought this was pretty cool. It's essentially a map for the Great Lakes. Old school says they didn't see them in Canada. And not all Walmarts here have them, but I definitely knew some of them do. Texaco cruising chart for the Great Lakes. And it's basically exactly what it is. Peter from Oz made it. Glad you're here with us tonight again. But it is essentially a map of the Great Lakes. So that's where Dave W. is joining us from. So glad you're here with us. But there again, it's something kind of cool, something kind of different. Essentially a Texaco road map for the Great Lakes. We've got the great looking Texaco Marine Products logo on the back. BW's Garage made it tonight. Super cool signs. I do not have one of those signs, but they're a great looking sign. Shows the Haviland cans, the Texaco cans, as well as all the water sports going on with the graphics on this one. Got the goals on it. Kind of a cool piece, something kind of different. Definitely gas and oil, not necessarily car, but definitely a vehicle with the boats and everything on it. And a little bit different than what we typically think of in as far as maps. So that's something kind of different that, like I said, we all think of road maps. We've all seen road maps. Ken Nolan's on with us. Glad you're here. But don't think I've seen a lake map. So I thought that was kind of a cool piece. So there's a box of smalls that we ended up with. Got a few more cool pieces that came in from the auction that we're going to get to. A couple of signs and some things like that. Plus, been sorting through some stuff, so we're going to look at a few oil cans here in a few minutes that are going to be for sale. So if you see something in the cans you're interested in, you can give me a shout, and we'll see if we can work something out on those. So that was the box of smalls I got. We're going to flip back around and check out some more cool stuff that I picked up at the auction last week. Now, my partners Jim and Chris Froschner on the F&E Collector Auto Auction, they also run a full-service auction company called Car Auction Real Estate, and that's where I went last week, where I picked up this stuff at their sale. So we'll start off right here with a new Grape Thermometer. I do have several pieces of soda pop memorabilia. I think it's cool. I like it. You know, we've looked at several of those signs here recently, the Diet Rights. Jim made it tonight. Glad you're here, Jim. The Diet Rights, you know, the cherry one we looked at, the Hires. You know, I've got several pieces of soda memorabilia. Even got a Peter Max 7-Up one right up there. So I think these are cool. This does seem to work. Delicious Anytime New Grape Soda. Kevin's here. Glad you're here, Kevin. Has some extra brackets that have been put on it to help mount it at some point in time, but you know, other than those added brackets that somebody screwed onto it, which obviously could be removed, highly original piece. Still got kind of the beveled glass to it. A little bit of fading over here, but not bad. Doesn't bother me any. I think it's a great piece and definitely excited to have it. First sign we're going to check out, Mormons. This is actually a feed sign. BW's Garage says Kim is in the hospital but improving, so hoping to get her home tomorrow. So everybody be thinking about Kim and hope she's pulling through. She missed a Sunday night because she wasn't feeling well, so hopefully she is getting better and will be home soon. Mormons is a seed company. This is a painted tin sign. Edwin Randall Jr. For good results, we feed Mormons. This sign is, my sister's got a bunch of feed signs and a bunch of ag signs, so I'm going to see if she's got this one. If she's already got it, I may sell this one. If not, it's probably going to end up in her place. Single-sided tin, but really in pretty good shape for painted tin. We've got a little bit of peeling right there, but overall pretty good. So that's right. Everybody's pulling for her. We've seen a lot of comments pop up right there. So tell her we're thinking about her, and hope she's back with us Sunday night and feeling better. Last sign I got, Texaco pump plate, Fire Chief gasoline. This one is dated 47. This is one of those at first glance you almost get scared of it because it does look really clean. It does have some chipping over here. But like we've talked about on a lot of these, some of these are, you're always skeptical anymore with the amount of reproductions there are out there on signs, especially one that's nice and clean like this. I looked at the back. I do see a lot of and that's what I thought at first, old school. I thought it looked reproduction as well. But I see a lot of the discrepancies and a lot of the wonkiness in the backside of it. When I looked at the rivets are old. They've got some age to them. There's some staining around the rivets. So I was a little skeptical of it at first. There were several sign guys there. Everybody that looked at it in person was pretty comfortable with it. So and like I said, when you start looking at the way the rivets are, and the rivets don't look new, we've got some staining, along the bottom here that, is aged. If it had, chips and fake rust and stuff, I'd be a lot more concerned about it. But with the date, with some aging on it, I'm okay with it. I mean, maybe it's reproduction, but I'm fairly confident that one is good. David W. says that one is sweet, has a good look to it. It does. We've got one of these. I don't think it's quite this good, but this one was a pretty nice piece, so I was definitely excited to get a hold of this one and add it to our collection. So, like I said, obviously I had a pretty successful day last week. Old school, people who reproduce old signs, especially making them look old, need to be jailed. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, and that's something else that, we ought to talk about. Obviously I've got a lot of signs. I buy a lot of signs. But, some people who don't buy as many signs as I do or haven't been around it as much as I've been, that's one thing you got to really watch, especially if you're buying them online. If you watch them on eBay, they'll say, they won't call them old or original. They'll call them, vintage style, looks old. They'll make up all kinds of stories on them to try to convince people that they're authentic. But that's right, old school, exactly. New collectors get scammed all the time. You got to really, really watch that stuff online. I'm basically to the point now, if I can't put my hands on it, hold it, touch it, feel it, look at it closely, I don't know that I've ever bought a sign on the internet. Because I literally want to hold it, touch it, feel it, look at it, and examine the details, like the grommets we just looked at, things like that, to know that I'm going to be comfortable with what I'm buying. So I don't know that there's a sign in there that I bought on the internet. I think every one of them I bought in person, in hand, and, had cash in pocket, looked at the sign, paid for it, brought it home. That's just how I've always done it. And that way, if I screwed up at that point, that's my fault. But, hopefully I've been around long enough to not screw up too bad. But that's 100% right, old school. There are, people get scammed so bad in this. They watch TV. They see these people buying these old signs. Old school, sometimes the sellers don't even know it's fake. And there is some truth to that as well. But there's a lot of them on eBay that know exactly what they're selling. And they have no problem with it. And people go, buy them and buy them and buy them. You've even got to watch some auction houses. I know that I've been to some big sign auctions, and you've got to be pretty careful because I've seen a lot of them that I think they populate a good collection with some other stuff because they know they're going to have buyers there for them. So I've seen that a few times. Obviously, not last week, not at. No, I don't have a hat, but I need to get a haircut. I know that, Bill. I need to get a haircut bad. I just haven't had time to get scheduled in. I've been too worried about trying to get stuff done before winter to get a haircut. So, actually, I have my stocking hat on today. That's probably why my hair's a complete disaster. I had a stocking hat on half the day. But You know, I've seen some auction houses, obviously, you know, at car auction where I go buy a lot of stuff over there. I know those guys. I know they don't do it, but I've been to some auction companies or some auctions where it's like, I swear they intentionally fed some of that stuff in. Oh yeah, Bill, we do have we've got a Newell stock Texaco Fire Chief hat in the box. So yeah, I do definitely have one. Actually, we've got several of them. One Newell stock one, and then a handful of used ones as well. So anyway, how about let's check out some cans. And like I said, this is extra stuff. I've told you guys I'll start showing you a few things here and there that we're going to thin out and sell off. So we're going to grab some of those cans right now and show them to you. If you see something you're interested in, you can always give me a shout after we get done or tomorrow, and we can talk about some price. I've got a bunch of cans that we're going to start selling off. I grabbed a handful of them tonight to check out. Old school, do I own any dealership signs? Yeah, I've got a lot of dealership signs as well. We looked at the two big plastic ones last week. We'll take a quick look here. There's a Chrysler Plymouth right there behind the pinball machine. I've got two of those Fords. Let's see. There's a Packard back there, which you can't probably see very well. The Chevrolet. The Oldsmobile, which I don't have on, is a neon. I don't have it turned on right now. Do I have any 59 or 60 luggage racks for wagons? No, I don't have anything there. The Plymouth, which I do have on, and if you were with us last week with the big plastic ones we had, that bow tie, which I have turned on, actually came from the same dealership that the two big signs we looked at last week came from. So that was on the side of the building. The two we looked at last week were on the front of, or out on their big signs. There's a Buick, there's a Hupmobile. So my Oldsmobile, you can't really see it back there very well, but that's an 8-foot neon Oldsmobile, and it is restored and it does work. So, yep, I've got some dealership signs. I've got more of them next door as well. Yeah, anything automotive, gas, oil, dealership, I love all of it. And yep, I got a little bit of all that stuff. So let's grab a few of these cans. Like I said, if you see something you're interested in, give me a shout. Some of these we've seen before as we've been sorting through this big pile of cans, which we still haven't gotten through all of yet. But we'll take a look at these in case somebody's interested. Like I said, we still haven't gone through all that pile of cans, but some of these we have seen. These are some that we are going to sell off. The MFA 1 gallon, the Mobile Upper Lube 1 gallon, the Ford Tractor Hydraulic 1 gallon, and the Texaco 5 gallon. So there's a few of the cans that are going to be sold if there's anything anybody's interested in. Loch Ness Fox, I remember getting plastic hats as a kid that are probably worth a bit today. My mom sold them at yard sales when I was at school. Yep, I'm sure that's probably true. But that stuff was plastic back then, and a lot of it didn't last. So those cans there are some of the stuff that's going to get sold off. I've got another pile of those to start going through. We'll keep working a few of them in as we go through over the next several weeks of things I'm going to sell off, because I know you guys have asked before what I'm going to sell, when I'm going to sell it. Brandon's on with us. Glad you're here. So be sure to check those out. If there's anything you're interested in, give me a call, and maybe we can work a deal out and add some things to your collection as well. So anyway, that's what I've got for you tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you swinging by, hanging out for a few minutes, checking out some cool memorabilia. Love doing the memorabilia. Obviously, I'm a big fan of it, big collector of it. It gets a little out of hand at times, but it's fun, and that's why we do it, because we enjoy it and we love it. So anyway, thanks for swinging by. Glad y'all made it. I think I'm going to throw up a bonus video tonight. Had a bunch of rock hauled in today, so I'm going to show you some yard maintenance here in a little while, maybe, if you guys are interested. We rocked Peter, great signs and nice cans. Some of the same as down in Oz. So Ken Nolan, glad you were here with us and had some time to hang out. But we actually rocked about 3/10 of a mile in the yard today. So we held a lot of rock in, primarily road maintenance. There was a little bit of stuff that wasn't fresh dirt that I did get covered. I've still got a lot of areas that aren't covered, but a lot of my rocked areas, The cat's in the office. She don't like hanging out in the shop too much. She pretty much likes to stick around the office. She'll wander around out here once in a while, but not very often. Joe still wants to see World War II stuff. We definitely got to get some of that stuff worked in. Absolutely, Joe. That's right. And I rock it and then I spray it. The front part of my yard was rocked when I bought it. But obviously, after years of driving on those roads, even though it's just me in and out of there, they've still got to be maintained or they will continue to go away. So we went out there Sunday by hand and filled some holes, got some dirt in some of the holes, and then, like I said, it was right at about 3/10 of a mile of rock that was dumped today. So got some cool video of that, of the dump truck out there driving around. I don't know if you guys are interested in it or not, but it was kind of neat to see. So I'll probably stitch a few of those clips together and throw them up so you can check them out and see that all going down. You know, facility maintenance, definitely not the funnest thing to do and definitely not the cheapest thing to do. However, it's extremely important to keep the place maintained and up to date, because if you don't keep that rock done, I haul some rock in every year or two, not every year, but the cars at my buddy's yard, I really don't know what he's going to do with them. It's there. He's happy with it being there. I would imagine at some point that stuff will get crushed. As you can see from the videos, not a ton of stuff in there that's worth dragging out. Not hardly anything in there worth dragging out, really. Some of that stuff, literally a lot of that stuff would pull apart. Loch Ness Fox says he wants to see the rocks, so make him an offer he can't refuse. Well, the problem is, there's so much stuff in there, and a lot of it you can't get to, and a lot of it, like I said, not hardly anything in there is worth dragging out of there. There's not really anything hardly in there worth dragging out of there. That stuff is so rough. It's in a wetter part of the country than I am here, and like I said, especially if you saw the video from last night, how some of that stuff is just literally falling back into the earth. So it's getting that bad in there. There's still a lot of good bits and pieces, but it's so far away from me and what it would take to do something with it. And it's not flat, it's up and down and around, and it's extremely difficult to move in there. It would take an insane amount of work to do something with it, and there's not a ton left in there. So, but I mean, I still stop by and see them, like I said, when I go through. That's right, old school makes it more fun. Maybe half dozen times a year, usually 2 or 3 times a year I get down there and get to stop by and see them. That's right, Can Nolans, get what you can. That's what I do. And there's some stuff you just flat can't get to it. There's some things in there you can see it, but you just can't get to it because it's that buried. That's right, Loch Ness Fox. A lot of stuff would come out in chunks. I literally think a lot of that stuff would come out of there in chunks if you tried to drag some of that stuff out of there. It is that deep and that buried. And like I said, it's none of it's flat. It's up and down, and everything that's in a low area especially would come out in pieces. Some of the stuff that's maybe up on a ridge may not come out in pieces, but it's still, even the stuff that's up out of the low spots has way more rust on it just from sitting in that area than what I get around here. So like I said, I love seeing the guy. He's turned into a really good friend over the years, so I always like stopping by and seeing him. How many cars are there? I would say 3,000 to 4,000. There are a lot of cars in there. But like I said, most of it's been stripped so heavy that, there's just nothing left of them. So, but there's a ton of stuff there. So I always love going in there. I always see something new. You always find something different. So, Peter, time costs money and all that up to make or break saving parts. And that's what it amounts to. Some of that stuff you can spend hours fighting one piece, but if it's not worth anything, you didn't gain anything. Shopcat Industries just got here, so we were kind of caught us at the end, but be sure to go back and check out the signs and the cool stuff we checked out tonight. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get ready to wrap up. I know you guys got stuff to do. I'll go ahead and stitch that video together of some of the clips we shot today of rocking the yard. Ambulances or hearses, nothing there. Shopcat's got my back too. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate you guys remembering all that. What else is coming up? I got a bunch of videos in the can. The Auto Bianchi, I got to get the Auto Bianchi up. The 69 Buick Skylark video is shot. The Napco, the 57 Chevy Napco. I got a video done on that, so I've got a bunch of stuff ready. I've got some more stuff from my buddy's place ready. Loch Ness Fox likes Tim's video, so sad to watch it just get yanked out of shape and crushed. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the stuff that Tim's been putting on lately. I haven't talked to him in a month or so. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks to all of you for being here and making this what it is. You know, even Toy Tuesday is growing every week, and I appreciate that. So tell your friends. I appreciate everybody swinging by. Yep, Shop Cat, we got an Auto Bianchi coming up. Don't get too excited. There ain't much left of it. So, BW's Garage was watching your new yard video and was wondering, would a 39 Chevy Coupe doors fit a 36 Chevy Coupe? I seriously doubt it, and it also depends on which 36 Chevy Coupe you're talking about, because there are two different 36 Chevy cars, one with wooden structure, one with metal structure. But a 39 is pretty much a completely different body than a 36, so I doubt that they would be the same. Joe's waiting for the 57 Napco. Once again, don't get too excited. It's a Napco, but it's no Cherry. But it is a Napco. The front differential is apart. The ring gear's out of it. But the axles are there. The lockouts are there. The transfer case is all there. So, you know, like I said, it's rough, but it is a 57 Napco. So, pretty excited about that. Definitely excited to get that one in. Going to try to pick up some more cars yet this week and get some more videos shot. Man, I got a ton of stuff going on. What happened with the Chevy Love? Depends on which Chevy Love we're talking about. I've got a couple of them in the yard. Both of them are still pretty much intact. The blue one, I've sold a couple little pieces off of. My good friend Cole Reynolds snagged a few pieces off of it too. Be sure to check out Cole's channel, see what he's got going on with his Love. But then the orange one I haven't done anything with. Ken Nolan says he agrees the doors may not fit. And Loch Ness Fox says, yes, they are different doors. So kind of what I figured. So Shop Cat loves love. So the Napco is a 3/4 ton. 57 3/4 ton chassis cab. It's got a bed sitting on it, but it is not the bed for that truck. It looks like they put added about a foot to the frame, and it's got a bed sitting on it that came with it when I bought it, but it is not the bed for that truck. And since the frame had about a foot put into it, I'm assuming that it probably had some sort of a flat bed on it, or some sort of a work bed or utility bed or something in its day when it was actually out there doing the job. BW's Garage. Oh, was wondering for Dave from Scott's Rods. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Wow, you guys are still hanging out here. Great. We've had a ton of participation tonight. That's awesome. And if you've got anything else, any other comments, be sure to throw them up there. I don't want to cut anybody off. So yeah, Old School says, let me go. Joe says 457 gears. I think that's actually what the tag said on it was 457s. The front does not have gears in it, because the front cover's off and the ring gear's off and a few other pieces are missing out of the front diff. But I do believe the front diff tag did say 457s on it, if I remember correctly. When we shot the video, we did get under the truck with the camera and got some shots of the tag on that and the tag on the transfer case as well. So stay tuned. That will be coming up here pretty quick, maybe Friday night or something. And but it is shot. It is ready. I just got to get some text put with it and get it ready to post. So, but it's coming up, and man, I got a lot of stuff to pick up. I've been buying more than I'm getting hauled in, and I already had over 30 to pick up before I started buying more about 3 or 4 days ago. So, got to get busy on that. Got to get some of this stuff drug in. So we got a lot of cool stuff to check out. So anyway, hope everybody is having a great week, and hope everybody has a good week. I'll get the rock video up so you guys kind of see what's going on around the yard with the facility maintenance, and see what we've got going on there. Like I said, it's kind of cool. It was kind of cool seeing it all go down, just spread, nice even spread with a dump truck driving around the roads, spreading some rock. But like I said, almost 3/10 of a mile is what we spread out of there today. So I'll get that put up. We'll check out some more cool new inventory this week. We'll be ready for Sunday night live chat coming up. Be sure to get your chances for the mini magazine giveaway this month. The stack of custom rodders that we're going to be giving away, the little small mini mags from the early 60s. 8 of them in that stack, plus the hot rod engine swap guide from the early 60s as well. Going to be going out to a winner first part of January after we give those away at the end of the month. So it does cement surfer. It looks great. I was pretty excited about it. It's not cheap, but there again, it's got to be done. If you don't do it, the facility continues to deteriorate. So, Shop Cat, have a safe, fantastic week. Got to dig myself out from under the snow here. We don't have any snow here yet, but they're telling us tomorrow 70-mile-an-hour winds here. So, not looking forward to that. I'll probably have to go pick up parts and close doors and close hoods that don't have latches on them tomorrow after we get 70-mile-an-hour winds. But you always remember what you sold the hood latch off of when you go out there, and they're all standing straight up in the air. So I'll be working on some of that probably Thursday. So anyway, looks like we're about caught up on comments. Anybody else has anything else they want to throw out there, go ahead and catch it up, get it up there real quick, and we'll try to catch it before we bail off here. If not, I'm going to jump off. We will see you all, more new inventory this week, and definitely hope to see you all Sunday night live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Interested in the cans, give me a shout. We will see you soon, and thanks for watching, everybody.